Good morning, friends. I'm Erica. If we haven't already met, thank you for tuning in. I wanted this morning to, of course, first start with a little bit of breath to ground us and center us. But my intention for this video is to take this time this morning to try to really, I know how hard it is in this moment, but try to really tune out everything that's happening around us that we have absolutely no control over. And the same way that we always tune in on our mat this morning, just completely turning inward and coming back to a feeling that I think a lot of us definitely have not really tapped into the past week because things have been so heavy and uncertain. And the emotion that I want to re-spark and invite everyone to come home to is joy. Again, despite everything, giving ourselves these next few rounds of breath, few really mindful moments of thought, of introspection, to just remember what that joy feels like and how we will get that back when we come out of this challenging chapter. So I first invite everyone to find their comfortable seat and just begin to close the eyes. And just start with a few very natural breaths. Just starting to notice where the cadence is already today as you land on your mat. Notice everything that you're working with, right? Every time we step onto the mat, our mindfulness practices, whether our meditation practice or our asana practice, will look different. It will feel different. So regardless of where you were yesterday, where you were last week, see if you can really hone in on and be present of where the body is, where the thoughts are today. And just follow that expansion and that contraction of this natural breath to start. And then we'll begin to activate a breath called Ujjayi pranayama, or an ocean sounding breath. And you'll just take a deep inhale through the nose and then constrict the back of the throat as you exhale through the nose. So if you're newer to this breath, think about the muscles that you swallow with. Those are the muscles that you're trying to constrict. So you'll really feel that breath scrape the back of the throat. It has that texture to it. You can also envision, even with the lips sealed, a mirror in front of the mouth, and you're trying to fog that mirror with the breath, even though the lips are sealed. And then as you get more comfortable with it, really start to surrender into it. Let it be full, let it be expansive, let it be self-aware. As you inhale through the nose, constrict the back of the throat as you exhale through the nose. And just continue like that. You might also add a little bit of a visualization or imagery here to follow that oceanic sound. You might just imagine, right, this wave washing over you from the crown of the head down to the tips of the toes, and already starting to cleanse, already starting to release any heavy thoughts that maybe you don't want to bring with you into your practice today. And our mind believes everything that we tell it. So just start to notice what we're telling the mind already as we find stillness, as we get quiet, and as we turn inward. And with all of that, just try to keep that nice tall spine, that brightness in the heart. And then take 5 more rounds of Ujjayi, and then slowly just allow that to fade away as you come back, come home to that natural breath in and out through the nose. And as always, you can keep the eyes closed, just really starting to stay inward without any attachment to the external. And this morning, my invitation or my offering is to first visualize, right? Something that I've learned very strongly, I would say more so the past year, is the power of my visualizations in my meditation practice, my manifestation practices, to really visualize those things that we want to invite into our lives, right? And this morning, despite everything that's going on, right, I was looking up the definitions of joy the other day, and the one that really spoke to me said that joy is gladness, not based on circumstance. So taking a moment again to release the attachments to what's happening externally, right, that we have no control over it, regardless of the circumstance. My invitation today is to come home to and come back to the things that really brought us joy before this started. To visualize, right, what that was, where were we, who we were with, how we felt, and just to give yourself that gift this morning, to remember what that feels like. For me, I shared something in one of my virtual classes yesterday. The smallest things I've been thinking of that bring me joy. You know, how I start my day. I have just like a neighborhood Starbucks downstairs that I have been going to probably for like 5 years since I've lived in this apartment. And, you know, it's such, I've of course become friends with everyone who works there because I'm in there so often. And you know, we joke around how the same way in a yoga studio, the energy in my local coffee shops, right, are so contagious. When people know your name and you have that exchange every morning and your smile brightens their day and vice versa, and that energy is just so palpable as you start your day. You know, the smallest things like that bring me joy, and I am deeply missing right now as they are, of course, also closed in this moment. So whether it's something as small as that, or something so large like the people that you love, whether yoga students, clients, just people in your life that you can't be with right now, right? Just breathe in that reminder that of joy of what that felt like, right? Knowing that it will come back. Right? That's where our faith comes in of this practice. But then the other thought that I want to throw out this morning, right, now that we are, all of us, in such deep reflection, with all of this quiet time right now, this downtime, this isolation, I also want to throw this thought out there as you breathe, as you keep that nice tall seat, that tall spine, to perhaps even think about the things from subtle to large that we might have been taking for granted before this started. I'm a really firm believer that everything in life serves a purpose, serves a lesson. I deeply believe that every single person that I cross paths with, every hard challenge that I've encountered in life has been a teacher to me. So as you breathe well here, and again, noticing how this challenge right now for everyone can be a teacher, can be an incredible lesson of something we need to feel, of something we need to further navigate or digest, of something that we don't want to take for granted when life goes back to normal, God willing, very soon. I think when we do come out of this on the other side, there will sort of be this new opportunity of, like, life pre-COVID and now post-COVID. I'm just taking these last few breaths together here this morning to, again, visualize what brings us joy, what we don't want to take for granted when we resume our normal life, and what that post-world looks and feels like. Again, just despite the circumstance, if joy is gladness, not based on circumstance. Breathe in a few more rounds of breath. You guys know I love to always offer mantras in my class, so however this speaks to you, right? It just, let it permeate the spirit here. And it just could be, a mantra could be something so simple, so short. And maybe this morning it's just, I choose joy, right? Despite the circumstance, despite the challenges. Inhale, I choose. Exhale, joy. And may we keep that visualization so strong, again, on the things, the people, the places that ignite that joy, that love. And may we carry that thought with us today. As you bring the hands to heart center, Anjali Mudra, the gesture of offering, as you spread the fingers nice and wide, as you draw the chin towards the chest. And always giving yourself this opportunity to bow to your body, to your practice, to your courageous choice to carve this time out of your day. And to always bow to each other. As you take one more breath in and a breath out. And gently begin to lift the gaze and flutter open the eyes. Thank you so much, guys, for joining me this morning. I hope this was just a small little example of how we can change the mindset, change the dialogue, Lots more to come, guys. All my love.